Hello ladies and gents, Donat here finally with the next video of our auction house adventures. After the previous basic know-how episodes, finally it's time to have a look at our first actual item flipping formula. I have been looking forward making this video and I hope it will help you make a lot of gold, making the time that you actually spend in-game a lot more fun by removing the frustration caused by the slow gearing up process. This will be actually a two-part video. First, we will discuss our mystery item and its required stats, and in the second half I will walk you through a session of mine in the auction house to show you exactly how I do it. Before we get started, however, there are a few things I would like to point out, a disclaimer if you will. First and foremost, if you haven't checked out the previous videos yet, I would highly recommend to do so, as we will not get into detail about the hows and whys this time to keep the video shorter and more enjoyable. Also, this is not a perfect strategy, but how I do it. I'm sure it can be improved a lot, but overall it works out just as fine as it is now. Please feel free to comment, however, if you have a better way of doing things. Also keep in mind that the more people are after the same thing, the more difficult things will get. It's absolutely possible that this exact formula will become useless in time, or the market changes make it ineffective. Don't worry, however, as if this video will be popular, I will bring out further formulas for different item types. And yes, of course I already have a backup favorite. Last but not least, if you did the exact same strategy until now and did not want to share it, I'm sorry. But enough of my ramblings, it's time to make some gold. You might remember that I used to trade with Gold Find Helms pre-patch. Well, it turns out that with a few twists, it's still a very lucrative thing to do. Since the patch I made about 80 mil by flipping items, and most of it was with this specific item. Now that's not that much gold, but it's not that bad either, considering that I barely spent any time doing this. Now you might also say, oh my god, gold find gear, are you feeding the gold farmers and the bots? Do you have a soul? Well, there is indeed a large demand for these items, so I'm pretty sure a good portion of it ends up with them. But at the same time, I don't have any moral dilemma if I have the opportunity to basically exploit them to death. So what you will be looking for are underpriced Helms with minimum 20% gold find and the socket. That's about it. Now, don't be afraid, the video is not over just yet. With these base stats, if you keep our guidelines, you can make between 100k to a million net profit per item, depending on what else is on the helm. Now, let me give you a little hint right now. Do not use a wizard, witch doctor or monk for your character in the auction house when looking for such items, as their class-specific helms are worth less, and they will give you a wrong idea about the prices for the non-class-specific helms, what we are after. This is the reason why I search as a barbarian now, although my main is a wizard. As you will find these days, a helm with pretty much nothing else on it goes between 2 to 300k. So if you can get something below 100 to 150k, you are already golden. The real money is, however, in the fact that a lot of people are not aware how much additional stats can raise the helm's value. For example, let's add now only 50 dex. And we are already looking at an item worth around double. Now let's add any vitality on top of it, and voila, we are already looking at a 1 million sales price. Now, to be effective, you need to know what's worth around how much, and you need to do it every single time you go shopping. First of all, you will find great deals during this process, and also you will avoid making costly mistakes, only because the market did change a bit. The stats you need to look out for are any strength, any dex, a lot of int, and or resist if you can get it. Properties like crit chance, armor, life percent and magic find are usually only great if they are combined with something else, but are of course welcome as well. Another important thing to keep in mind as well is the actual gold find percent above our base 20%. The value is more depending on the combination of the other properties, but a close to perfect roll of 24 to 25% gold find is a strong selling value. In general, there is not that massive of a difference between helms with 20 to 23% gold find on them. Remember to search for a bit less, but still minimum 20% when looking for the price of an item to make sure you price things right. The same goes for other stats and properties as well, of course. For example, if I want to sell a helm that has 65 strength, I will look for Helms with minimum 50 strength instead. That's basically it. Very simplistic as you can see, and at the moment very effective at the same time. I really do hope that you will enjoy making some gold out of these Helms, and that it will help you gear up much faster. Do let me know if this was helpful, and like the video if you would like to see more of this. I will start preparing the next video if you are interested, and if we do hit 50 likes on this one. Before we jump over to the second part where I will put this into practice, let me just quickly give you an update on the next videos. I will probably make another short auction house video on the bidding mechanics, and why it seems sometimes that you are insta-outbid on your targeted items. We will also have a quick look on the new upcoming patch, and after that we will analyze the current best farming spots in Act 1 and 2 post 1.0.4 in terms of champion and elite packs, chests and goblins. I hope you did enjoy the content. If so, please don't forget to subscribe. Good luck in the auction house, and see you over in part 2 of this video soon.